Hey everybody, welcome back to another episode of the Tough Car Challenge. Today's contestant is the Ibishu Covet LXi. This is the I want to say call this almost the mid-range model. It is a more luxury version of the Covet. Uh where the ZXi is the sporty one, this is the luxury one. So the ZXi did 4 laps even. Will the LXi meet or beat that rating, or will it fall flat on its face? Let's fire it up and find out. Okay, we're in the car, put our foot on the brake and start it up. We're going to turn our headlights on so you can see our gauges. This LXi comes with an automatic, so we will not have to worry about shifting the gears. We just put it in gear and go. And speaking of it trying to go, it just tried to take off on us already. That's what I get for bumping the shifter in gear. All right, let's adjust everything the way we need it. I'm going to actually put us back on the start line here. My bad. All right. Lights on. 3, 2, 1, and away we go. As the little 4-cylinder just winds itself up, propel the car along. We're actually doing all right so far. We're up to 60 miles an hour. All right, coming up to the Widowmaker. A manual car would most likely be a little bit better because we could keep the car in the gears we wanted, and I think our radiator gave out. I think that last landing broke the radiator. Well, it is what it is. It's already pulling a little bit to the left, but we can handle it. Oh! Definitely popped the radiator as we have steam coming out of the front end of the car. Okay. Alright, we have 1 lap down almost. Alright, coming up to the last set of corners. Engine temperature is starting to elevate, but it is still well within safe limits. And across the line, 1 lap down. It's coming up, we have a same speed as the first lap. Kind of popped the parker brake there to keep us on the track without hitting anything. Up the Widowmaker. Alright, here we go. This is the bad area. And hard landing. We're still going though. We still have power. Whew. Alright. Halfway through the second lap. Definitely a lot more steam coming out of this thing now. Alright. Come on, transmission. Find a gear. There's a gear in that gear in there somewhere that will work. This car is starting to pull even harder to the left. There we go. Alright, I think for just to figure out here, we're going to go ahead and pull off, take a close look at this engine, see what's happened to it, or engine. Just take a look at the whole car here and find out what is going on with it. Okay, guys, we are outside the Covet, and we do see the steam just rolling off the front end from our busted radiator. It looks like you could tell right here, looking at this, the trim line on the fender, the whole front end is bent upwards a little bit from that one hard landing. Steering appears to be okay for the most part. I think with the subframe, everything's a little off. Front bumpers is tweaked pretty hard, but in that fender on this side looks good. Looks like the car on this side, at least how it landed at one point, did bend something, and there's why we're pulling. Is that wheel has some damaged suspension components underneath it, but I mean, car doesn't look too bad. I mean, it still runs and drives, so let's keep going. Start the car, turn the lights on. 3, 2, 1. In a drive, a little bit of a squeal from the tires, and we are off. We have 2 laps down, so we're halfway to the ZXi's rating. Will we get to the 2 more full laps before this engine gives out? Who knows? Because I suspect either the engine's going to give out or we're going to take a bad landing from the chicane area, and that's just going to snap the drive line. All right, here we go. Oh, dear. Well, that's one way to go down it. We're still going. We're still able to turn. Oh. We're definitely going to pull back into the pits after this. Oh, come on, car. Kind of hard to see where you're going. Oh, dear. If we survive. Definitely hard to control. I suspect one of the wheels, with how it's fighting, I think I've lost the steering in one of my front wheels. Oh, thought I was closer to this than I was. Alright, looks like we're pulling off again. Come on, car. Alright, well, we have essentially 3 laps. Oh, don't want to hit those. And I sideswiped it. Alright. We're going to go ahead and shut the car off, turn the lights off, and I'm going to crawl out of this window, and we're going to take a closer look at what's happened to this car. Well, that rollover caused a hell of a lot of damage to our roof line. I mean, this whole A pillar collapsed. I think the B pillar just collapsed on itself. I mean, oy. That was a rather nasty hit. And oh, it's not the steering the steering is still attached. It's just the rack on one side is completely foobarred. I'm surprised that didn't snap the axle, but hey, you know what? Maybe the whole subframe got shifted since it's a front engine, front wheel drive, it's just like, oh, okay, this is not comfortable, but I can still do it. So, we're gonna go ahead and kick the roof up a little bit so my head is not against the roof, and then we're gonna go ahead and keep on going. Okay, we went ahead and kicked the roof a little bit. Now, our head's not up against it. Can't do much about the door, but that is what it is. Let's start it up. All right. It's holding idle, so we got 3 laps. We are 1 lap down from the ZXi. We have smoke rolling out from under the hood. The temperature gauge is pegged. Let's see what happens. All right. I figured if the engine was going to fail, it would not have allowed us to start, but if it was going to fail right away, so I think we're okay. To at least the top of the Widowmaker. Actually, I think we're going to be okay until we get to the chicane. We'll see how well that goes. Alright, here we go. To the chicane. All right. We're okay. Come on. We're losing power. Yep. The engine's going. It still revs up, which is a sign we have power, but we don't at the same time. So, uh-oh. Oh. Come on. At least tie. You can do it. You could do it. Oh my god, the steering is so far gone. Oh, there's my front bumper. I ran over the front bumper. Come on. Come on. As soon as I think this thing's dying, it's just the transmission's in a bad gear. Okay. Alright, we have made it. We have made it. 4 laps complete. We've tied the ZXi. Oh, something just blew. More smoke coming out from underneath the hood. Come on. Oh, come on. That's it. That is it. It gave up the ghost. Holy shit. Let's go ahead, hop out of the car, and just take a look at the overall state of the thing. Okay, well, car doesn't change much from the last time we looked at it. The rear bumper is a little more beat up. The front bumper got tore off after the one landing. Wow. The exhaust still is tucked up under there, nice and neat. That's a very big surprise. I mean, this thing just took a hell of a beating. So, we died on the Widowmaker going up. So that puts us close to, we're technically between 1/8, which is the jump back there, and 1/4, which is this straight. Since we're closer to the 1/4, I'm going to give it the 1/4. So we are at 4 1/4 laps complete. Hot damn. Hot damn. So we're going to go ahead, go in overhead view, and we will see where exactly the Covet LXi appears on our leaderboard, especially how close it is to the ZXi, because it is extremely close to the ZXi. So this will definitely be interesting if once we drive another one of the Covets. But that's another time. Let's go ahead and go into overhead view. Well, guys, we're in overhead view, and like I said when we were down here, the Covet LXi did 4 1/4. In comparison to the Covet ZXi, did 4 laps even. So there is a 1/4 of a lap there difference between the two. Holy shit. That is very close. I mean, could have been close. I mean, obviously, it could have been an 1/8 of a lap instead of a 1/4, but I digress. So that puts us about square in the middle of the leaderboard with the 4 1/4. In front of the Covet LXi is the Civetta Bolide with 4 3/8, the Gavril Barstow 423, and the Ibishu Hopper XT6 with 4 5/8, the Gavril D15 Custom Classic, and the Hirochi Sunburst 1.8 with 4 3/4 laps completed. Behind the LXi is the Gavril H45 box van with 4 1/8. Obviously, the Covet ZXi with 4 even, and then the 1, 2, 3, 4-way tie with 3 5/8. The Romer 4-wheel drive XT, the Bruckle Moonhawk i6, the Bruckle Legrand 2.5S, and the 96 Ibishu Pessima DX. Those last 4 there, like I said, with 3 5/8. So it is smack dab just in the middle here. It looks like the median of these cars is going to be between 3 5/8 and 4 5/8. So right about in that halfway point there. So Very interesting so far. Anyway, that is it for this episode of the Tough Cart Challenge, guys. I hope you've enjoyed this video. Please like, please subscribe, all that good fun stuff. Until next time, guys, have a good one.